This is Angela Barias here. This video is sponsored by angelabarias.com. You may find the link in the description below. Click like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can get notifications of new videos we load. I'll be watching for your comments, so hit like and share with us. Today is Tuesday, February 23rd, and for this week, we promised to all of you that we were going to bring another very crispy subject. And because here in the United States, we are in tax season, I decided that it was a great idea to just bring you how to make the most use or the best use out of your income tax refund. Majority of people in the United States, not all, but the majority, a good percentage, is expecting to receive an income tax refund this year as well. As you read statistics, you realize that the income tax refunds are shrinking, let's just say. And I am not here to talk about taxes per se. We're going to leave the tax subject to a tax expert that I am going to bring in one of my interviews that I have promised to you. A person that it's in a six-figure income that has done great when it comes up to advising taxes. Is a tax professional certified by the IRS in matters of taxes. And we are going to ask the questions to that person. And I am going to allow you to ask questions to that person when it comes up to the interview. So you're going to have to collaborate with me when it comes up to those to getting those questions if you want to have presence there. So we're going to give you some time to do that. The reason why I'm bringing all these people when it comes up to interview is because live interviews, is because I want you to realize that where you are right now is not where you were going to be. That is a decision you have to make, and that you yourself have to make the changes. You have to apply the changes that are necessary in order for you to go to the next level. So make the most use out of your income tax refund. So I will say, be smart about money. Be smart about a lot of things. Be smart about politics, be smart about health, but be smart about money too. Money is not a thing that you use just because your parents used it. Money is a way that we transact so we can acquire things, acquire goods, okay, and live kind of like a better life. Is it necessary? Yes, it is. Is money the most important thing? I gotta say no. Money is not the most important thing, but it's right there along with oxygen, okay? Just to say the least. So let's talk on this subject. Let's be strategic. So let's talk about withholding on your W-4. For those of you that are international audience to me, and you're learning about these kinds of subjects because you're looking into coming to live to the United States in a near future or so, or you just want to learn. As a capitalistic country where there are tax withholdings or tax imposed on your income and other matters, we are allowed to file when you are an employee. You are allowed to file a form called a W-4, right? This W-4, and I'm not going to go into the meaning of the forms because this is not about taxes. This is about the actual ways to make the most out of your income tax refund, right? So I'm being strategic here to mention the information because if you ever come to live to the United States of America, then you're going to have to learn these little things that make the most out of the money that you actually work for. So during the year, obviously, when you're working, you make money. And as a capitalistic country, we pay taxes. We pay taxes on our income. Sometimes not just at the federal level, but we also pay taxes. Sometimes in some locations, in some states, you pay taxes on your income at the state level, okay? So for those of you, and just for the sake of it, I'm not talking about just the federal income tax. I'm talking about any refund you get when you file your income tax. From January 1st all the way to April 15th, we all file income taxes. All we do is report everything we made, everything we lost, everything we spent, all the people that we have to feed, and everything else that has to do with not just personal but business. And then based on our forms, we either have to pay taxes or we might get a refund. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. And we are talking about making the most use of your income tax refund. And for those of you that are just joining, I appreciate your presence today. My name is Angela Barias, and I am a certified financial coach. And so talking about this, when I say be strategic, is because you also have to learn that when you have a job, you work for an employer, the employer is going to give you something called a W-2, which is a statement on you as an individual that they have to report to the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. And with that, you have to let the IRS know how many people you have to feed, meaning dependents, how many people depend on you. For instance, let's just say we have a couple and they have 3 children. She works, he works, and the kids go to school. They depend on their parents. So when she files the W-2 form with the employer, she's going to say, I am married. That's a status. I am married and I have 3 children and a spouse. My spouse does not depend on me. All right. So every count of that, the 3 kids and her count for 4. When it comes up to him, he does the same thing. He can claim even her and say, well, it's me, it's my wife, and it's my 3 children. So now there are 5 withholdings. When you put the number 5, that goes into a calculation. What it means is when they pay you your salary after the 2 weeks you work, then before anything else, before calculating how much taxes you gotta send to Uncle Sam, we call Uncle Sam the United States of America, the federal government. So before they do that, before they send the taxes, they say, well, she or he made $1,000. But according to this table right here, there are 5 withholdings. So there is a table that calculates that tax. I'm not gonna go into that because today is not tax session. Today is about making the best out of your refund. But I do have to explain this for folks that don't understand how this happened. And to me, it's important because the more you understand, the better decisions you make along the line. Now, once they subtract the amount that they have to out of your paycheck, those are your taxes. They're going to be adjusted according to whether you have 4 withholding, 1 withholding, or dependents. Okay, withholding equals dependents. Hello. And so at that point, out of the $1,000, you're going to come home with a little less. I'm saying hi. You're going to come with a little less. Now, this little less is your net paycheck, is what you bring home. There are other deductions, of course, in your paycheck, but today is not about that. And I promise to you, we'll talk about more in depth in another video about deductions because it's important. Most people don't understand how their deductions work, and that is also a good thing to know. Now, when it comes up to being strategic, and you know how many dependents you have to, somebody's asking me, I'm sorry, I'm going to make a stop because somebody is asking me, it's called Grupo Eprotec. And me están preguntando si hablo español. Yes, yo hablo español también. Y esta misma sesión va a estar disponible el día jueves, pero si usted necesita más información me puede enviar un mensaje directo y yo con mucho gusto, o si quieres hacer una pregunta, con mucho gusto también la contesto ahora mismo. Entonces, so we'll go back again. Thank you for the question. So we go back again. So when you have this W form already done, that we know that these are your withholdings, there is always a deduction coming out of your paycheck. Now, there is a way to calculate how much withholding you're supposed to be claiming, or how many dependents, right, in general, or how much you can actually withhold out of the money. And there is a calculator that we use from the Internal Revenue Service. And if you want to learn more about how to do that, you can actually reach out to me, and I'll help you throughout. So you can always go to www.angelabarias, Angela Barias, ANGLABARIAS.com. That's my website. Or you can just simply send me a DM, and then I'll help you with that. So now I talk to you about withholdings because the amount of people that you declare on your W-2 are going to impact the amount of taxes that are coming out of your paycheck to pay Uncle Sam for your income tax portion. So if you claim too little dependents, then they take a lot of taxes out that you send ahead. And in my personal opinion, that's not a good strategy. You're supposed to pay the amount that you're supposed to pay, and never more than that. So, example, let's just say you earn $1,000. Let's just say the real amount that's supposed to be taken out of your paycheck is $100. But because you declare zero as dependents on your W-2, then they take $200. I am not making an exact statement. I'm just giving you an example. So now, what are you doing? Every single paycheck, you're sending more than what you're supposed to send. What happens with that? To me, very simple. What happens is you're providing a loan to the government, and they are certainly holding that money accountable to make more money out of it, okay? So what I'm saying is, if you need a space in your budget, if you need to make payments of other sources, we have to review this section right here. So if you want more details about how to do that, contact me and I will help you do that. Now, let's go to the ways, the six money smart uses. I'm gonna give you 6 smart ways. I can give you more, but today I'm gonna feed you with 6, okay? 6 money smart uses for your tax refund. I wanna let you know, if you are taking note, I wanna let you know that if you're just listening or watching while you're driving, and I said watching while you're driving, listening while you're driving, or just watching, you're not taking notes, it's okay. All this information is available on my IGTV once the video finishes, that you can go back again. And I would appreciate if you share this with other people right now. So invite them to come so they can learn what to do with the refund. And also, you can reach all these videos on my YouTube channel. And you're gonna find me there. You find tons of different videos that we are adding, okay? Also, personal invitation coming up in March. We're having great special interviews, live interviews, in which you are going to be able to ask questions to 6-figure income people that are making the best out of their money, the best out of their lives, because they started up with nothing, and today they have made it very, very, very big, and they will tell us how, okay? So I want you to learn of those things. Now, let's talk about 6 ways that you can save, that you can make the best use out of your income tax refund. Look, let's be real. What do you do with your tax refund? Think about it. If you've been in the United States of America for, let's just say 10 years, and you have gotten at least $1,000 back, what have you done with that money? Where is that money that you have gotten? Now, in another video, I will be able to break down the 3 main areas of an income tax form. How do you really get your refund? And how do you really pay taxes? Not because I'm a tax professional. I am not a tax professional. But believe me, you don't have to be a tax professional to learn how this works. And if you can understand the 3 areas in which you are being screened to say, in order to for the government to say you get a refund or not, then it's going to be very, very worth it for you. Okay. Now, number 1 way to make a smart move with your money. You file your taxes. It takes about 7 to 10 business days for you to get that money back, right? You don't get a check, you get a direct deposit. Today, everything is direct deposit. So, number 1 thing that you can do, pay down credit card debt. Angela, I knew you were going to say that. Yes, because you know what? We are in trillions of dollars of debt and getting more in debt as we speak every single minute. And the federal debt, the national debt that the United States of America has, goes in correlation with the household debt that you have. So if we're talking about trillions of dollars, you just eliminate the zeros on the left and you realize that the average household credit card debt is around $35,000, right? So we know we are in the trillions because there's a lot of debt that the family has incurred lately. Now, number 2, build up an emergency fund. The number 3, invest in a retirement plan. Number 4, prepay mortgages or loans. Number 5, be good to your car or to your home. You'll see, I'm gonna get in depth on this. And number 6, treat yourself. Treat yourself. Look at this. You know what? I'm letting you know that I am actually making great space for you to actually invest the money in you. Yes. So bear with me. Let's go to this number 1, and I want you to take a look. The visuals are on YouTube, okay? So I want you to take a look at this. Build up an emergency fund. You've heard me in other videos, in other encounters we had, that an emergency fund is part of 3 most important accounts that make you rich. Go into my IGTV and look for that video that talks about the 3 main accounts that make you rich. I promise to you that if you just have those 3 accounts and you just do as I just entice you to do on that video, you will turn your life around and your life is never going to be the same. It's going to be superior. Okay. So build up your emergency fund. Why? Simple, because for as long as you don't have an emergency fund, you have emergencies. And when emergencies come, you're obligated to swipe your card, otherwise to borrow money. And in the 2 events, you become a slave, because a slave, every time you become a slave, I have to say, because when you borrow, you become the slave of the person you borrow from. Okay, so you are the slave of the lender, and that is something I don't want you to be in. Now, when you get your refund, let's build your emergency fund. Number 1 step when it comes up to wealth, this baby step number 1 that Dave Ramsey talks about. I know a lot of people ask me, and Dave Ramsey talk about this, and he's right. And he's right. When you don't have enough money to start up or to just fund your emergency fund fully, you have to start up little. If your income is less than $25,000 a year, you need to find a way to open an emergency fund with $500, and then get to 1,000. And from 1,000, start building 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, which is what most experts recommend. Now, when you get your income tax refund, and I know for some people it's kind of fat, it's kind of like big, talk some of that fund money. Talk some of that money into an emergency fund, like I said. Now, even the modest, the most insignificant you think it is, $500 will help you soften the situation when it comes up to expenses when there is an emergency. Now, if you are able, from your income tax refund, if you're able to take the $1,000 and put that away for an emergency fund, then we are reaching baby step number one. We are reaching the most important step so you can start getting into the wealth creation. Once you have that $1,000, then you're going to start feeding this account every single month. Now, there are two things. You need to know how much money you need to cover for expenses for 3 or 6 months. And you also need to know where to put the money at, because guess what? I am never going to tell you to leave the money in your checking account, and I'm never going to advise you to put the money on a savings account, because none of that pays you any interest. So the first thing that you've heard me say is I love mutual funds. I love mutual funds because they are a very simple way to understand how to invest for the typical family, for the average American that works and makes money. And it's a great way to compound interest and buy shares into a pool of investors in which you're going to get your money. You're going to see your money grow in different ways. Okay, so you have a way to spread what you put in there, and actually just try to save the day when it comes up to a loss. If you already have an emergency fund, because you're already good, you've been putting some money here and there, 100, 200, and you already know how much money you're supposed to have for emergency fund, then take some of this income tax and throw it in there. Go ahead, dump more money into that fund. Why? Because you want to get to the goal as soon as possible. If your expenses are $3,000 a month, you're going to multiply. Look, I always have a calculator close. You're going to multiply, right? The 3 times 6, and your goal is $18,000. You need $18,000 in a mutual fund that's dedicated for an emergency fund. Okay? If you want to know more about how to reach one mutual fund and get something like that, just go to my website, register there, and let me know that's exactly what you want, and I will reach out to you and help you with it. Once you have established this, you still have some money left from your income tax refund. Guess what? I'm going to give you another idea. And this other idea is going to be, you guessed it. Yeah, you know, right? Pay down your credit card debt. Folks, credit card is eating people up with interest. When you have a credit card, remember the myth that I mentioned in one of my videos. Credit card is not money that you own. It's money that you owe. In other words, it's not yours, does not exist. It's a piece of plastic. What you do every time you use credit cards without having a cushion, without having the money to pay the balance in full, then you're eating your life away in interest every single month. In order for you to use a credit card, you have to be able to pay the balance, what you use, the balance for the statement in full. If you have $1,500, I don't want to use that. Let me use the 1,000 because it's simple to understand. If you have $1,000 limit on your credit card and you use 500 by the date in which they cut the statement, you have to be able to have the $500 from your checking account to make the payment in full. Oh, I didn't know that. Yes, you do have to, because you need to avoid the interest on the balance that you carry on the next month. That is why banks, financial institutions, and many others make so much money. And they make so much money because they know the game of you borrowing money. So pay down credit card then as fast as possible. If you don't have a financial plan in place, if you don't know how much you have in debt, if you don't know how to turn that debt totally off, if you have troubles paying down your credit cards, all those things, reach out to me. I will help you with a plan. But you have to have a financial plan. You need to know exactly where you're going from here to over here. You have to find a way to visually say, This is what it's going to take me. If I ask you, and this is something that happens very common, okay? And it's no shame. It's just something that happens commonly. When a client calls me and sets an appointment with me, and I usually give you like 30 minutes for you to tell me everything you need to tell me as far as your finances, because I need to learn and need to learn from you. When the person asks about credit card debts and the situation, and they tell me what's going on, let me tell you that it's very easy to get lost in the middle of all this situation of credit card. So to me, it is very important that you make an attempt, the best attempt you can, that if you already have if you already have an emergency fund set, that you take some of the income tax refund and pay a credit card. Now, let's just say you have 3 credit cards. You're gonna go look at the statement or open the application on your phone nowadays, right? You're gonna open the application on the phone and you're gonna look for the statement. The statement is gonna tell you the interest rate that they attach to all your balances. And you're gonna say, well, okay, credit card number 1 has an interest of 19%. I'm being nice because all of them go beyond 20. Credit card number 2 has an interest of 24%. Credit card number 3 has an interest of 26%. So what I want you to do is, the one that is costing you more money is the one with 26%. So I want you to take the money from the income tax, and remember, after you have already funded your emergency fund, you have to take a good portion of that and you're gonna put that money into paying off that balance of that car. Angela, is not enough. What I owe to that credit card is way too much. Okay, so then you need a different approach. And that different approach might be a snowball, a debt stacking, an accelerated payment. Those kinds of things are tailored. It depends on you sitting with me, meeting with me, so I can see what's in your situation, so I can help you build the how are you gonna pay this off faster and avoid interest. So if you're interested on that, you can always reach out to me via direct message, or you have my criteria or my presentation information on my IG account, or you can go to my website. Don't shy away from asking whatever question right now that you need to ask. And don't shy away from learning more just for you to get out of the situation. So remember, don't try to pay your credit card debt if you don't have emergency fund. It's just not gonna work. If I just tell you, just go ahead and pay your debt, forget about the savings, you're still gonna get in debt, because debt attracts more debt and money attracts more money. So if you put money away and you pay some debt, now we balance the situation. If you put everything on the debt, chances are you're gonna get in debt again, because you're not giving yourself the basic solution, which is to start building the wealth. All right. I'm gonna give you another way to make use of that money. And when it comes up to income tax, guys, most families or most people, when they file income taxes, they're eager to get that money, because by the time December hits and people are thinking, oh my God, tax is coming, people are eager to just get all their forms so they can get that money ASAP. So now, another way to make use of the refund is to invest in a retirement plan. Why? Because it's part of your building wealth. So if you put some money on emergency and pay some debt, then we can start funding a retirement plan. Now, if you cannot pay all the debt, then I don't want you to fund a retirement plan, but we could. So investing in a retirement plan is to enhance your future, meaning to make it better, to make it richer. By the use of this tax refund on this kind of account, what you're going to do is you're going to open a deferred retirement plan. Deferred means that you don't pay taxes while the money is growing. And that is commonly called for individuals an IRA or an IRA. Okay? If you have a 401k plan, what I want you to do is max out your plan and then open a Roth IRA. That's what you need to be doing. Now, be careful on how you're going to contribute because there are limitations on each account. So if you want to know more about limitations on the account, what is best to do, let me know, or just get a tax advisor. Get also a general financial advisor and or a certified financial coach that can help you just put all these criteria together. If you want more information, you can always register there at my website. Now, number 4, prepay your mortgage loans. If you have your house, if you own your house and you have a mortgage every month, you know what I want you to do? If you don't have any credit card debt, if you already have your emergency fund in place, if you're funding your retirement, the next thing that I want you to do, really, is I want you to be debt free. And being debt free for sure and in full is to get rid of all the loans you have. Student loans, car loans, and the mortgage loan. Those are very big ticket items. They cost a lot of money. So you need a financial snapshot or you need a financial GPS in order to accomplish these kinds of goals. If you want to get one, I will provide you one for free. All right. Now for homeowners, when you own your own house, the mortgage is what takes the most out of your paycheck. So you need to get breathing room. Whatever extra every year you get in refund, if you don't have nothing else but this one big debt, I want you to write a check or send money to the principal balance of your loan. Don't just send a check. Send a check to the principal balance, okay? Because that's going to help you. If you are not a homeowner and you rent your own place, I want you to think about what else do you have that's a loan, like a car loan, a student loan, anything that has the word loan attached. And I want you to target that debt with this money. If you don't have any loans, then I need you to target your car insurance, your renter's insurance, anything that's insurance that you can pay on a yearly basis, because when you pay a policy for the year, you usually save about 2 months. And that's 2 months worth of payments. That's money right there in your pocket, okay? So these are just ways I'm letting you know you can actually do better when it comes up to using your income tax refund. You want to know more? Do you want to purchase a house? Are you looking to become a homeowner? I have a program for you. I have a program that helps you get to that in 12 months, 18 months, or 24 months. You want to get into the program? Just send me a DM. It's super worth it, you guys. If you are dreaming with like, I want my own place in the United States of America, there is a way to do it, but you have to learn the rules. If you don't know the rules, chances are you will fail like most people do because they don't know exactly what they need to do. Number 5, be good to your car or be good to your home. What do I mean by that? Be good to my car. Why do I need to be good to my car? Well, sometimes we have a car and the car takes us everywhere. Takes us to the store, takes us to work every day. The poor car takes us everywhere. And sometimes the money is so tight and you don't want to put more debt, but the money is so tight and your car needs tires or needs a new water pump or needs whatever it is that your car needs. That is an instrument, you guys. When you work or when you do business, a car becomes part of the things that you have to have. Nowadays, you have to have internet. You have to have your cell phone. You don't have to have the latest cell phone. Come on. You can do it with a really good cell phone. You don't have to have the best. And you don't have to be changing cell phones every single year. But you need the cell phone, the internet, a good computer, and a car. Those are things that are necessary today, just not not just for a job, but if you're in business, you cannot live without those. Okay, so be good to your home. If your home is being in desperate need of repairs, then use the money and do that. Invest it in your house. As a matter of fact, you still have ways to get some more money in your income tax refund when you make payments towards your mortgage, or when you do these kinds of things. Let's just say your house is in good shape. Let me give you another piece of advice. You're not asking me, but I'm going to do it because I know it's worth it. What about you've always wanted to reduce your insurance premium on your house? And in order for you to do that, you cannot move the house from where it's located at. But in order for you to do that, you can get solar panels on your house. Or you can get impact windows. For instance, in many places like Florida, like Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, and along the coast, the west, not the west coast, but along the east coast, anything that hits us on this side is usually a hurricane. And for most folks, when we own a house, we want to make sure that our windows and our doors are of impact, right? That they can resist a category 5 kind of a hurricane. So if it's the time for you to invest on something like that, I think you will do yourself a great favor, because when you do that on your own house, that's an investment. It brings up the value of your house and also reduces your premium, your insurance premium. So think about that. That would be actually another way to use the money. Now, as you are going to see in the last piece of advice that I'm going to give you here, I'm going to say treat yourself and your family. But if you don't have kids, you and your spouse, or you and your better or significant other, treat yourself and your family when it comes up to maybe vacations, maybe buying something that you guys always wanted to have. Maybe you didn't have a smart TV and you wanted a smart TV. But let's be frugal with it. Let's don't be crazy about spending money, guys. When you cover all the things that I told you, you have an emergency fund. When you're paying your debt off, you have no debt, in other words. When you are paying the principal balance of your mortgage, when you have reduced your insurance premiums, when you have paid your student loans, when you have done all those things, guys, you can be free to use the money that you receive to do things like this. You just want to buy the latest TV, go ahead and buy it if you need it. If you don't buy it, because it's kind of silly. You don't need to buy more screens. You only have 2 eyes and 24 hours, and usually maybe 1 or 2 hours to watch TV. For those that do, I don't. So just be sure to maintain that physically savvy way. Be savvy about money. Just don't go crazy wasting it. Now, if you spend money for like a second honeymoon, for like going out with your spouse for a weekend, or with your family on deserved vacations, I gotta say, do it. Because family needs time together. And there's no way to build relationships deeper and better without having, let's just say, a new place to have adventure together. Those are remembrances that stay in our children's mind for a long time and make them very, very happy, as well as ours. So go ahead and do that. So as you can see, guys, it's not all paying debt. It's not all about paying the loans. It's not all about it's also about treating yourself. But I will be a bad financial coach here if I just tell you, take the money and go ahead and blow it, or take the money and go ahead and buy yourself a car of your dreams. So take the money. Those things, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But the 6 ways that I gave you are the 6 also most important things you need to be doing with your money, regardless of what. So I hope you're liking this. If you do, please, I ask you to just share my videos, share my Instagram account with other people that you know. Let them learn, let them get better as well. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and all that information is going to be actually posted as well. You can always reach out all my videos here on IGTV, and we're going to be live from next week on. We're going to be live on Facebook as well, simultaneously as in Instagram. So it's going to be really, really cool, because many folks over there are asking, Angela, you do everything IG, and we are just Facebook people, and we have to cater to everybody. All right, so we're going to do that too. And for as long as we continue developing this long list, we're going to keep on adding more and more. I have promised to my international community that I am going to bring subjects that adequate the information to the international economic system. It's not as easy as it is, but there are many concepts that we all can apply that are not just the capitalistic concepts. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you what the average tax refund of 2019, for instance, was $2,535. What will you do with that money? Tell me. What will you do with $2,500? That was the average. When I say average, I'm meaning most of the people got at least that. That's what I mean. Do people get more? Yes, people get more. Look, in last year, due to the situation that we had with that little thing that is going around, that I don't want to call the name, you know what I'm talking about, right? That everybody is getting a jab for, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention none of those names. The government, the federal government, issued a couple of stimulus checks. And it was very, very well known to all of us that we were going to get a stimulus checks. And a stimulus check is a deposit for a certain amount of money. So depending on your income, you got a stimulus check. Now, because of the circumstances, people were out of a job, claiming unemployment. Some people couldn't even get the unemployment. Some people got some help, but just for a short period of time. This check came to just kind of like help what? Help to pay for your rent, help to pay for your car, help to pay for groceries, help to pay for those kinds of things. So it is logic that when you get your stimulus, you use it for what it is for, to stimulate the economy. Now, those stimulus checks are never going to stimulate an economy that's broken, but they are going to aid you somehow, some way. If you were my client for these past years, you had an emergency fund. So when you got your stimulus, you did not need it. So what you were supposed to do with your stimulus check was what? Exactly. You needed to put it away in a good mutual fund that pays you a really great rate of return. That's something you always gonna hear me say. Why? Because you can't leave the money on your checking account. Otherwise, you're gonna spend it. It just happens that when you see money on your checking account and you don't have the discipline, you say, let's go to that restaurant to eat. Let's buy that thing. Oh, I think I could spend it on this. And then next thing, money is gone. So very, very frugally, you have to use the money. $2,535 every year. If you get to see my visual on the video on YouTube, you are going to be surprised. Now, write this down. The average tax refund is $2,535. $2,535. That's the average. This is the income tax refund people at least people get. Some people get $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $9,000, $10,000 back. And you say, wow, the government is good. It's not the government. It's you sending money ahead of time for the government to save it for you, okay? Don't even think it's free money. It's the money you earned throughout your career, throughout the year, that you paid ahead of time. You paid more than what you were supposed to, and now the government is just sending you whatever you sent over to them that you didn't have to. How about that? So you could use that money for you on a monthly basis too. So now let me show you, I'm going to show you what most people do with the refund. Okay. This is how Americans spend their tax return. 50% of Americans that get a refund put the money in a savings account. That's very lovely. I love that idea. The only thing I don't love is the fact that your savings account doesn't pay you interest. So I don't think it's the best place to put the money, but at least it's a start. So if you are one of those that save the money on a savings account, I highly suggest for you to research more about other accounts that might pay you an interest, because that's just not gonna do it for you. Okay? The bank do make a great use of your money. Now, pay down debt. 34% of people do this. They get the refund and they pay debt, which is great. Okay? 22% of people that get a refund pay everyday expenses. And what is that? They buy food, gasoline, pay the light bill with this money. As soon as it gets to their account, they spend it in regular habits. So 22% of people doing that, I'm saying they wasting their money. But Angela, they don't have money. They have to use it for that. No, they are disorganized with their finances. They don't have a financial GPS. They've never accounted for the money that they make and what they spend. And they're not considering themselves on how hard they work for the money. They're just making the use of it. Okay, so if they get to listen to my next video when it comes up to budget, it's going to be the best for them too. 12% of people that get a refund go on vacation. I am a fan of that. Why? Because a memory lasts forever. Now, you don't go on vacation if you're in debt. So then what? You don't go on vacation if you're in debt. Because if you're in debt, you owe money. The money has to go to the debt. You have to pay the price for not making the best use of your money. And then once you're out of debt, you can go on vacation. But that's not fair. Well, it's not fair for you to work hard and get in debt. That's what's not fair. Now, 10% of people use the money to improve their home. Good for that. We talked about that. 9% make a major purchase. Now, when I say a major purchase, you guys, you know what I'm talking about? They use the money for the down payment of a house, which is fantastic. They also use the money to buy a necessary car, because the car that they have is way broken and they just need a new car. So that is a good investment right there. Why? Because like I mentioned before, we need internet, a good cell phone, not the latest, a good cell phone. We need a car. We need basics. That's part of basics. And 9% of people that receive an income tax refund also splurge in purchases. What do I mean by splurge? It means that they buy the Coco Chanel, they buy the Fendi, the Gucci, they buy this, they buy clothes, they just splurge themselves with the money. And so, good or bad, for as long as those people are good financially, if you do it like that, I don't have a problem. Now, I won't have a problem regardless, because I don't blow my money that way. I don't do that. Certainly, you have to be very careful when you're going to give something to yourself. Make sure that the rest is in accord. And only 3% of people use the money for other different things. So as you can see, there is a sense in America. There is a sense on savings, because I do like the fact that 50% of people do think on saving money. That's great. So I'm gonna tell you what my financial calculator says about, let's just say using the income tax refund, just the $2,500. If we use the $2,500 and we invest this money every year, $2,500 a year. $2,500 a year is $211 a month. So let's just say you take your refund, your $2,500, and you open a Roth IRA, a retirement account. And you start investing for 30 years of your life. You're gonna add $2,500 a year, and also every month out of what you make, you are going to fuel that account with $250. If you do that at a 12% return, and you contribute those $8 a day, because that's what $250 is, $8 a day. You use $8 in a Starbucks. You use $8 for McDonald's. You use $8 for nothing, right? For a couple of things at the grocery store. So for $8 a day plus the $2,500 a year, if you continue just doing that every single year for 30 years, I have here in my audience, I have people that are very young. Young people like in their 20s. So if you are hitting 30 years old, or you're 32 or 33 and you don't have a mutual fund or a retirement account, it's time to get that going. You have 30 years on your side to build a great retirement. Now, if we take the income tax refund and we just invest this money at a 12% and we add $250 a month, what's gonna happen is 10 years after doing this constantly every single year and every single month, 10 years after, you're gonna have around $63,000. Ooh, but that's not a lot, but it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's not a lot. Well, it's not a lot yet, but what about when you hit 20 years of savings there? You're gonna have $250,000. And by the time you hit 30 years and you're ready to retire, if you just continue doing that basic thing of using $2,500 a year of your refund for retirement, plus $250 a month, which is $8 a day, at the end of 30 years, you're gonna hit close to $900,000 in savings. That is if you use a mutual fund with a 12% return. So what am I saying here? I'm saying that time is on your side. I'm saying that if you get the money, you can do these kinds of things. And if you just think this little bit on what I'm saying and you just put in practice what I'm telling you today, and you have at least 20 years to save until retirement, you will end up with another $250,000 in your pocket so you can have a great retirement. So you see, you can make the most out of your refund. Now, I'm gonna leave you today with ways for you not to spend your income tax refund. I already talked to you about the ways in which I want you to make the most use about your income tax refund. But today, I want you to also, because part of enlighten the mind is not just knowing what to do, but also knowing what not to do. So what I want you to leave today with is things that I want you to avoid making use of when it comes up to making use of the income tax refund. So these are key points for building wealth. And it's part of my series of building wealth in IGTV. So if you want to know more, there are going to be more videos added, but go reach my YouTube and then check the visuals on this video and you're gonna love it. Number one, don't spend this income tax refund on material things. Don't do that. Listen, when you have a large sum of money coming in, it can be tempting to splurge on a television, on a gaming system. The kids come and, Mom, I want a new Xbox, I want a new PlayStation. But those are not good investments, okay? They don't have a lasting positive financial report. They don't do a financial good to you. Putting it simply, Splurging this way is effectively blowing your money, guys. It's blowing your money. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself, because you make these kinds of purchases and they don't bring you anything back. Okay, they break you. Now, on number 2, don't hit up the casino. You know why I say this? Because I thought about this very deep before I put it in my list today. And I gotta say that there are people that like to go to casinos and that like to waste their money in casinos. And I know that if you come across this video, this is gonna bring a lot of freedom to you, because the casino, the money that you go leave over there at the casino, is never gonna bring you anything back. It's always gonna make you believe that if you just bet in the casino, you might get the chance to win, but what you're doing is you're living your life to chance. And that's just not a good strategy. It's definitely not. Now, if you are going to gamble your money, you know what I would like you to do instead? Buy stocks. Because if you're going to gamble, at least you're better off putting that money in the stock market. Now, it's not guaranteed that you're going to win. It's guaranteed that sometimes you're going to lose. But if you just research a little more and learn, you might become a really good stock investor instead of just wasting money in a casino, right? Now, number 3, don't just put money into your checking account. That's a never, you guys. It's a mistake. You get the income tax refund, it's direct deposit into your account, and now you leave it there. The first thing you gotta do, you gotta move that money away from your checking account, because the checking account is a way to say pay for things. We in the United States of America, we use checks. Well, not anymore that often. I still do. But you use the money from your checking account. And when you leave your refund money there, the chances of expenses showing up in your account are triple, 300%. 300%, you guys. So you have to move the money out of there, even if it's onto your savings account momentarily, until you can reach out to me or reach out to somebody that help you open the right account so you can invest your money. Don't keep cash under the mattress, you guys. Don't put the cash in a safe box in your house or in a place. Cash devaluates. You need the money earning money. Make money a way to make more money. Okay? Make money a way to make more money. I don't know if this is clear, but you have to allow the money to make more money for you. And it's not made under the mattress. It's never made in a safe box or safe deposit at the bank. It's not, definitely not at the house. No, because on a fire or something, it's paper and it's gone. So don't do that. So don't keep the cash at the secret place. The secret place. My husband knows what the secret place is. It doesn't matter. The money needs to be in a bank or in a place in which it's earning money. Or find a way to invest it, okay? Find a way to invest it. Don't spend it on your kids. Angela, what do you mean don't spend it on my kids? I love my children. My children are my life, and they are mine too. But you don't take your income tax and blow it on your children. You can buy them a couple of things. But what happens is that children, and you're gonna have a series of videos from me on teaching kids how to handle money. But there's already one over there, but I'm gonna bring you more about that. Once you give your kid $500, you know what he expects or what she expects? More. So you raise the bar of how much you can give them, and they raise the expectation on how much you can bring. Don't do that, because it's just not a good thing for them to learn. They need to learn to make money. They need to learn how hard it is to just make the buck. If you think about putting some money for your kids away, send me a DM and I will let you know which program is best for your children. College, a 529, a Coverdell account, depending on what you're going to do. I will help you get through that and put some money away and then make money out of money. And then by the time they go to college, they won't be in debt. All right. That doesn't mean don't buy them anything. You can buy them some things, but you don't have to splurge them either. Now, don't use it as a down payment on a car that you cannot afford, for God's sake. I know you want the BMW. I know you want the Ferrari. I know you want all these cool cars. But if you don't have a house, why are you going to have a cool car? You live rented, but you have the best car on the neighborhood. Listen, make sense of your life. Make sense of your life. The car doesn't make you, you make the car. The car cannot even drive on its own. Yes, I know that there are people trying to put an AI that is going to drive for you. I don't even know if I can get to that level to have a machine driving me. But that is just a machine. At the end, you are the human being. So do not use this money to put as a car, as a down payment for a car you cannot afford. Do not borrow against the refund. This is a huge one, guys. Don't borrow against it. What do you mean? Well, a few years ago, everybody gets really smart. Everybody gets really smart. And the tax offices found a way to partner with other companies in which you go file your return with a tax return person. And the tax return person tells you, do you want your money faster? And you're so desperate to get that money that you said, yes, what do I have to do? And they make you fill up a form in which you apply for a loan. So what you're doing is you're borrowing money against your refund. When the refund comes, they deduct a certain amount for you having to get that money faster. And you know what's the difference? Maybe 2 days. Listen, nowadays it's simple. You do your taxes, get your refund. It's going to be direct deposit, and more times than not is 7 to 10 business days. If you don't have it now and you have not died, you're not gonna die in 10 days. Believe me. All right. So do not borrow against your own income tax refund. It's not okay to do that. Don't continue the debt cycle, you guys. If you pay the debt on your credit cards, balances, don't go swap again. Don't swipe again because you defeat the purpose. Don't book an expensive vacation. I mentioned this at the beginning. I want you to go on vacation if that is the case. Yes, go with your family. Oh, come on. Look on Groupon.com. I'm not making any advertisement for them, but what I'm saying is, like, do your research and find ways to go on a fantastic vacation that's really low cost. You can do it. You can do it. We don't have to blow the entire amount of income tax refund. Don't buy unnecessary things. A watch is not necessary. Earrings are not necessary. And purses are not necessary. New glasses are necessary. A computer because yours is really old, that's necessary. Today is necessary. So think about that. Think about that and win along with the winners. All right, guys, I gotta leave you because I am 9 minutes past my time. And I really want to leave you with two things. First of all, coming up, we're going to have creating multiple saving goals video. It's coming. We're going to talk about ways to save money more in depth. Bitcoins, cryptocurrency. Who wants to learn more about cryptocurrency, Bitcoins, and things of that nature is coming. It's coming. Money basics. You're going to hear me talk about these kinds of things, but at the end, this is what I want you to leave you with. Make the most out of what you have, but make the most about yourself. And for that, you gotta grow. For that, you have to read books. For that, you have to get better. For that, you have to surround yourself with better people. For that, you have to really make a conscious effort that what you're going to do is to change your life, you guys. You can reach all of my material that I have for free on www.angelabarias.com. I also speak Spanish. So for those Spanish speakers, this coming Thursday, we're going to be hitting this same information. If you want to share with others, do not blow your income tax refund, because this can be the little tweak you make to your finances that is going to make a huge change in your life. You're still right on time. You want to buy a house, you want to get out of debt, you want to fix your credit, you want to do all those kinds of things. My name is Angela Barias. I am your certified financial coach. I have 20 years combined experience in between financial services and real estate, along with building businesses since I started up at age 19 with my first business. And I can tell you that if you need somebody to guide you, you can reach out to me and I can do that along with you. The only thing you have to do is send me a direct message. Like me on Facebook, Instagram, and go to my YouTube channel. Do me that great favor and just subscribe over there and get the most out of my videos. Share it with other people and comment. Give me comments. I want to know what you think. I want to know if you want to know more. And if you have a special subject you want me to talk about, whether it is business, family, finances, or anything else. I want to thank you. I want to tell you good night. God bless you. Be well. Get more into yourself. Dedicate time to learn. And I hope you really like what we talked about today. Do not blow your income tax. Please make the best use out of it. And I see you next week, this same time, Tuesday, for our English session on a new subject. Okay, guys? You have a wonderful night. God bless you.